The conditional operator is a shorthand method for writing if-else statements. So this is a shorthand method for writing if-else statements. So what this looks like, let's say that we have this if statement. So let's say we have if x is less than 0, y equals 10, else z equals 20. So this is a fairly simple if-else statement. So we can actually write this with the conditional operator like this. So x less than 0, then we'd have a question mark because we're saying x less than 0, then our question mark. If that's true, we're going to say y equals 10, else if this is false, we're going to say z equals 20. So basically this, we can write this with or without the parentheses. So we could also write this as x less than 0, y equals 10, z equals 20. So this can be written either way. And this is a ternary operator, and the reason why is because it has 3 operands. So this is basically just a shorthand way to write an if-else statement that's pretty simple. So if you have an if-else statement that looks something like this, so it's just really simple, the conditional operator is a good option. If you have if statements with really long statements in, so like let's say we have if x is less than 0, and then we have a cout here, and we're displaying a lot of stuff, and let's say we have some other stuff, and else, and then let's say for the else we have cout, and then we have a whole bunch of stuff. This one probably isn't a good candidate for the conditional operator because we could still put this in here, but it would make it really hard to read. So really, to decide whether or not you want to use the conditional operator or an if-else statement comes down to readability. If your conditional operator is really hard to read because you've put really long statements in this part of it, then you're probably better off using an if-else statement. But if your if-else statement is really simple like this one, then the conditional operator is a good option. Let's look at the conditional operator in some code. So with this one, this says this program calculates a consultant's charge at $50 per hour for a minimum of 5 hours. The conditional operator adjusts hours to 5 if less than 5 hours were worked. So basically, we have a consultant that charges $50 an hour, and the minimum number of hours they're willing to bill is 5 hours. So if someone puts in less than 5 hours, it's going to adjust the hours to 5. So let's look at what's going on. So we have this constant variable, so constant double pay rate. So this is the hourly pay rate. It's constant because it's not going to change. We have constant int min hours is equal to 5. These are the minimum billable hours, and it's constant because it's not going to change. And then we have some variables, hours and charges. So now we're going to see out we're going to ask the user how many hours were worked. We're going to read in what they type and store it to the variable hours. And then we're going to determine the hours to charge for. So hours is equal to, and then this is our conditional statement, so is hours less than min hours? So in other words, did they enter less than 5 hours? If they did, then hours is going to equal min hours, and if it's greater than 5, hours is going to equal hours. So in other words, if we rewrite this conditional operator as an if statement, we have if hours is less than min hours, hours equals min hours. So in other words, if they entered, say, 3 for hours, so right now hours is equal to 3, then this is going to change, this is going to store the minimum hours, which is 5, to hours. Else, if they entered more than 5 hours, then hours is simply equal to hours. This conditional operator could, so this is the if-else statement that we could use instead of this conditional operator. This is a good case to use the conditional operator because this is a pretty simple if-else statement. This conditional operator has hours equal to this hours and then the min hours and hours. This could also be written as hours less than, well, actually I'm going to write it up here. So I'm showing you another way that this could have been written. So let's go up here. So hours less than min hours question mark. So is hours less than min hours? If it is, then hours equals min hours. Else, hours equals hours. So in other words, we don't change it. Okay, so then down here, we just finished the program, so we're going to calculate and display the charges. So charges is equal to the pay rate multiplied by the hours, which we determine the hours from this conditional operator, depending on how many hours were entered. And then we're just going to see out the charges are, and then we display the charges.